Ever tried putting together a treatment last minute? You're trying to meet that deadline, but the ideas are all scattered. You're just staring at a blank page, hoping something will come out. Sound familiar? It's like trying to build a house. You can stack bricks all day, but without a plan, you're just making a pile. This is why I want to give you something better. A structure that's easy, organized, and ready to use anytime you need it. Okay, if you're here, you've probably heard the word treatment tossed around. But if not, a treatment is essentially a presentation you make to pitch your vision to clients. Traditionally, they're used by directors pitching films, music videos, and commercials, but now just as commonly used by photographers, videographers, and even content creators. So with that out of the way, let's talk about structure. I want to share a simple formula that you can customize to fit your projects. I'm going to break down each part of the structure, but I want you to keep in mind you can mix things up or add sections as you need. It's my best remedy for that blank page syndrome, but all you need to do is fill it in with your own words, regardless of how messy it might feel or look at first, because once you have something on paper, you can then edit and refine. Start your treatment with an intro. This is like your opening line, where you grab attention and set the stage. It's short, it's sharp, and it gives the big picture. Think of it as that first impression. You want them interested from the start. I can't give you an exact sentence that will hook the reader, but try to think of your call or meeting. Maybe there was a joke that made you guys laugh, or try to remember a specific pain point they were mentioning a few times and try to address that. Or I personally sometimes like just writing a one-liner, a relevant quote from a book or historical figure that encapsulates the entire idea behind the video. But that's my thing lately, and you will have to find your own. Next, the approach, or sometimes I call it the why you section. Why you're the right person for the job. Maybe it's your unique experience with the product or your passion for the subject. And my personal advice here, be very honest and open. Like, tell them exactly why this resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate, maybe you shouldn't be pitching. You're not just selling the idea, you're selling yourself as the perfect fit for it. Then we get into the characters or casting. Who are the people in the video? What kind of vibe do they bring? Why is it even important to consider? Be honest and upfront about the types of people you want to be showing and why. Sometimes the ad might not call for any actors on camera, but it might require a voiceover, and then you can describe the specific actor and the type of voice and the type of character that narrates the story. This section helps clients imagine the personalities that will carry the story. Visual style and cinematography are where you really bring in the mood. What colors are being used? What's the lighting like? Bright and clean to highlight product features, or maybe dark and moody to convey layered, raw emotions? Or warm and soft to give off the brand's friendly tone of voice? How does the camera move? Slow and steady to show characters in control of their environment, or handheld and shaky to match a high energy tone that fits certain brands? Or maybe it's a combination of techniques to illustrate the contrast between before and after. There are countless ways to tell a story and no hard rules here, but this section is where you show you care and know what you're doing. This part makes it obvious to your client. Ever been stuck trying to pull together a beautiful treatment, but all you find are stock photos? When you're pitching on commercials and music videos, those just don't fit the vibe. This is where frameset really shines. Think of it as your own visual research assistant. It gives you access to a massive library of high-quality stills from music videos, commercials, and movies. Need a specific color? A certain lighting style? Want to search by film techniques? Frameset's filters let you get super specific, so you can pull together visuals that actually look like they belong in your project. Found an image you like? Good. Now you can find a dozen more with that same look and feel thanks to their AI features. Or you can upload your own and find a similar one. Especially handy when you need that different orientation. And sometimes I just vibe through their staff pics with some music on. Feels like browsing an art gallery, for when I'm feeling that lack of inspiration. I like that I can create sets, custom folders for each project, so that everything I need for that pitch is right there in one spot. Plus, I can track back with my search history, so I'm never losing any gems. With 10 free searches a day, there's no reason not to try it. Frameset isn't just a tool, it's an investment that pays for itself every time you use it. Hit the link in the description and try it for yourself. I notice for a lot of the beginners, sound is often an afterthought. And of course it may not be as flashy or exciting as cinematography or wardrobe, but it's vital in setting the right tone. Harsh, soft, exciting, or silent. All of these can convey different emotions, even when they're applied to the same edit. It's a telltale sign of an experienced director who knows what they're doing when sound is considered from the very start. Just adding a few words about these elements can help others imagine the final piece. And you can also reference other people's work by pasting a link so that the client can click it and hear exactly what you mean. Art direction and set design are all about the environment. Where is everything happening? Depending on your imagination and story, it might be a cozy room, a crowded beach, or a busy coffee shop. Describe what that place looks like. What does it tell us about the character, or how is it important to driving the story? This is one of the most efficient ways to show, not tell. Here's an example. You see a young couple sitting tired in their bedroom, surrounded by diapers and kids' clothes. An alarm goes off. Now you've set up a whole story of sleep-deprived parents without even needing to film the baby once. It's usually the details that make it feel real. Alright, so if your project has a story, this is where it belongs. For most commercial projects, keep the sections simple. Just lay out the main beats, like a plot summary, because you'll likely create a detailed storyboard with a storyboard artist later if you win the pitch and get the job. But for now, a plot summary is enough. However, not all projects are exactly the same, and some are more story-driven, especially if they're not selling something directly. In these cases, particularly for branded films or documentaries, you might ditch the structure and approach your whole treatment like a visual script. You will weave your characters, visuals, and sound right into the story itself. This way, the treatment flows like a narrative and doesn't feel compartmentalized. So, to clarify, for a regular commercial, follow this structure, separating your sections onto different pages to keep things clear and organized. But if your project is more like a mini movie, or a branded film, or a music video, you can still use this structure as a base, but just wrap it up more like a visual script, introducing all these elements as you tell your story. And finally, there's post-production. Anything special here? Are you going for quick cuts or match cuts? Or seamless transitions? Maybe you want a specific color grading, or you're planning some other crazy effects and editing. This is where you set those expectations. Now, why use this structure? When you're pressed for time, this structure is a lifesaver. You don't have to start from scratch every time. Everything's in order, and it reads like a story. Instead of jumping all over the place, it flows naturally. Having a clear flow also makes it easier to design. You'll find your treatment looks more professional because it's organized and easy on the eye. But again, I want to emphasize this structure is just a starting point. Please adapt it to your own style. You might not need all these sections every time, and maybe you want to add a few of your own personal touches or go more in depth in one of the areas. So, this is my treatment structure that has saved me so many hours, and I know it can help you too. If you want a little extra help, check out my shop, Pitch Studio. I've got design templates there that can make your treatments look polished without all that graphic design fuzz. And filmmakers are loving it, saving time, improving their structure, and creating treatments that truly stand out. I couldn't be more proud to share this with you. If this video was helpful to you at all, please like, subscribe, and share. You know what to do, the algorithms love it. So I'll see you in the next video.